በቸርነቱ ጠብቆ ለዚህ ዕለት ያደረሰን አምላካችን እግዚአብሔር ክብር ምስጋና ይግባው። አሜን። እንደተለመደው ከዚህ በመቀጠል በዚህ እንደሚገኙ በየቤታቸው ይህንን የጸሎት መርሃ ግብር የሚከታተሉ ወጣቶች በእንግሊዝኛ አጠር ያለ ትምህርት እንሰጣለን። In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen. Fathers, elders, brothers and sisters, greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. May the glory of our God and of His mercy be upon us. Praise be His name for giving us this day, so that we can stand in this holy place and praise His name, and also hear of His life-giving word. Our topic for today is the good ground that bears fruit. The good ground that bears fruit. But first, I'm going to read the psalm that was sung by the deacon earlier today, and also I'm going to announce the readings from the scripture during the Divine Liturgy for today. The psalm was Psalm 65, chapter 10. In the Amharic Bible, it is Psalm 64, chapter 10. It says, "You water the ridges thereof abundantly, you settle the furrows thereof, you make it soft with showers." The first reading was from St. Paul's Epistle to the Hebrews in chapter 6, verse 7 through the end. The second reading was from the first epistle of St. Peter, chapter 3, verse 8 through 15. The reading from the book of Acts was chapter 14, verse 8 through 19. And the gospel reading was the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 1 through 31. We are in the middle of a church calendar that follows the season in Ethiopia. It is a rainy season back home right now, and so the readings and also the psalm that the deacon sings from during the Divine Liturgy are all indicative of this season. And so the readings have to do with rain and seed and harvest and so forth. And so the title for today's teaching is also taken according to the season from the readings for today. The good ground that bears fruit. So I'm going to start with St. Paul's message from the readings today. In his epistle to the Hebrews in chapter 6, verse 7 through 8, and it says this: "For the earth which drinks in the rain that comes upon it, and brings forth herbs useful for him by whom it is dressed or plowed, receives blessing from God. But that which bears thorns and briars is rejected, and is near unto cursing, whose end is to be burned." The gospel reading that was from the Gospel of Matthew on chapter 13 today is also concerning a ground, as St. Paul here in his epistle mentions, that bears fruit, but the Lord Jesus Christ talks about also different kinds of ground that do not bear fruit. In the Gospel of Matthew, we find many different parables of the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ. These parables are stories that are examples that we should learn from for our spiritual life. And so the story or the parable that the Lord Jesus Christ told today is a parable about a sower who went out to sow seeds. And when he did, he said that there were some that fell just on the wayside, on the roadside. there were some that fell on a stony ground. There were some that fell on a ground that had thorns. And there were others that fell on a good and a fertile ground. And at the end of his teaching, the Lord Jesus Christ said, "He who has ears, let him hear." The disciples asked him why he teaches in parables. And he said to them, "Because it is only for those that are to inherit the kingdom of God who have the privilege to know and to understand the scriptures." And then he interpreted this parable for them. He said, the seed that fell on the roadside is like the word of God that is heard by someone who hears the words but does not understand. And the wicked one, he comes and he takes away the words that are sown in his heart, and he takes them away. And such a person does not bear any fruit. The roadside, the seed, he said some of the seed falls on a stony ground that cannot grow a plant with deep roots. And he said this is a person who hears the word of God and is happy for a time being and goes home satisfied from the words that he heard. But when trials and tribulations come, when there are tests, when there are persecutions, when there are trials in his life or in her life, these words, because they do not have a deep root in the heart of this person, they do not grow. When the sun comes out, the scorching sun wilts the ground, that wilts the plant that grows on such a ground, a plant that does not have a deep root. And so is a person who is not well grounded in the teaching, who does not take all the teaching to heart. When the scorching persecution of this word comes, he or she are going to abandon the words that they have heard. The other ground, he said, is a thorny ground on which grows the seed that was sown on it, but after a while it is going to be choked and it's not going to grow anymore. And the Lord Jesus Christ said that this is the kind of person who hears the word of God and takes it with gladness for the time being, but is choked by the things of this world, is choked by the desire of this world, is choked by the riches and the materialistic desires of this world. And he said, the good ground which bears fruit, that bears 30-fold, 60-fold, and 100-fold. This is a person who hears the word of God and who understands it. And this person bears fruit. This person bears a 30-fold, 60-fold, and 100-fold. And so there are all these kinds of different people in the church. When we come to church, or when we hear the word of God, we all do not receive it as the good ground. But that is what we are supposed to do when we listen to the word of God. Prepare our heart so that we can take it to heart to bear fruit. It is for this reason that the Lord Jesus Christ gave us this parable, so that we can prepare ourselves and receive the word of God and bear fruit. It is also for this reason that St. Paul said, for the earth which brings the rain that comes upon it and brings forth herbs useful for him by whom it is dressed receives blessing from God. And so if we seek the blessing of the Lord God, we have to be like this earth that takes the rain that comes upon it and brings forth good herbs or good fruit. What is it that we are supposed to bring forth? That is a good herb for the Lord God. It is our God who has prepared our heart. It is our God who created us and brought us into this world. And the fruit that we need to bear are fruits of love, fruits of kindness, fruits of patience, fruits of kindness to others, fruits of charity. That is what we are called to bear. That's what we are called to grow in our spiritual life. In the book of Acts, on chapter 14, verse 17, it says that he left not himself without witness. He, being the Lord Jesus Christ, he left not himself without witness, in that he did good and gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and with gladness. So nature itself is something that witnesses the glory of the Lord God. But it is also something that we learn from for our own spiritual benefit. When St. Luke in this book of Acts says, he left himself without witness, and he gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. He is not just talking about the natural rain that comes upon the earth, but he is also talking about the words that he has given us through the apostles, through preachers, through teachers, the words that we hear in the divine liturgy, the words that we hear in the readings of the scriptures. It is for this reason he said that because of this, he did not say our stomachs are filled, but he said filling our hearts. He said he left not himself without witness, in that he did good and gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts. So our heart is not filled with food, but our heart is to be filled with the words of God. But the rain and the seasons that God has given us are examples for us, so that we can learn from the ground, so that we can learn from the earth that is given to it by the Lord God, that takes the rain and that bears fruit. And it is for this reason that he said we hear, but we don't often listen, and we don't take it to heart. And so for this reason he said, he that has ears, let him hear. How is it that we hear the words of love, but we are hateful? How is it that we hear the words of peace, but we always have arguments and contentions among us? How is it that we hear the words of patience, and we learn of patience from the Lord Jesus Christ and from the apostles and from the martyrs, but we don't have such patience? How is it that we hear compassion from the Word of God, but we have a cold heart? How is it that we hear and we learn about mercy from the Lord God, but we do not have a forgiving heart? It is because we do not open our ears, the ears of our heart, our inner heart, to listen to the Word of God, so that we can bear fruit. In the book of Acts, in chapter 16, verse 14, there is a story about a woman named Lydia. It says that this woman worshipped the Lord God and heard the disciples, because her heart the Lord opened, so that she attended unto the things which were spoken of St. Paul. So her heart, the Lord opened that she attended unto the things which were spoken of St. Paul. And so, for this reason, we also need to have this kind of heart. When we come to church, when we prepare ourselves to hear the word of God, we should ask Him to open our hearts so that we can attend of the things which were spoken of the preachers, the priests, the deacons, the words we hear throughout the divine liturgy. Because if we do that, and if we bear fruit, St. Paul says, we receive blessing from the Lord God. For the earth which drinks in the rain that comes upon it, and brings forth herbs useful for them, by whom it is blessed, receives blessing from the Lord God. How about one who does not bear fruit? Where he says in Hebrews chapter 6 verse 8, but that which bears thorns and briars is rejected, and is near unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. And so we need to understand that if we bear fruit, we receive blessings from the Lord God, not just on this earth, but also the blessing of eternal salvation. But if we do not bear fruit, if we do not have our hearts open so that we can take in the word of God and bear fruit, then St. Paul says, such a person is near to his cursing, and his end or her end is to be burned. And so we need to have a spiritual exercise and practice also to take these words that we hear in the church, in the divine liturgy also. It is so that we can read the words of the scripture that are spoken in here, that I always announce it before any teaching. So we announce all the readings. During the divine liturgy, we have 4 readings from the scripture. We have a reading from the Epistle of Paul. We have a reading from what is known as the General Epistle, either from St. Peter, St. John, St. Jude, or St. James, or from the book of Revelation. We have one reading from the book of Acts, and we have one reading from the Gospel. These readings, we need to read them again and again. Because of the shortness of time, we do not learn of everything that is spoken of in these words on Sundays. But we can learn and understand more if we ask God to open our hearts for us so that we can bear fruit. May God grant us a heart that receives joy in His word and bears fruit. ከዚህ በመቀጠል ወደ ዕለቱ ትምህርት እንሄዳለን። የዕለቱን ትምህርት የሚያስተምሩን ቀሲስ አድማስ ናቸው። እግዚአብሔር አምላካችን ለመምህራችን እውቀቱን ጥበቡን እንዲገልጽልን፣ ለእኛ ደግሞ መልካም እዝነ ልቦና እንዲያድለን ቅዱስ ፈቃዱ ይሁንልን።